Great good morning, everyone. It is a beautiful Thursday, March 5, 2026. My Cordaro Jeweler's watch tells me that it's 9:13. This is the Bob Cordaro Show. I am he, broadcasting today from the United States of America, the place where the brave, like the veterans we salute today, thanks to John Basiliga and his great Basiliga Hospitality Group, like Edward Kwok Sr., Shavertown, Albert Petrucci, Bunker Hill section of Scranton, and Paul Matuszek, skinny analyst, but he was born in Forest City, the United States of America, founded with a certain knowledge and understanding by our incredible, amazing, irreplaceable founding fathers that government is not, shall not be, cannot be our parent, our guide, our salvation, our direction. Not any of these things, but as nothing more than a necessary evil we require to organize and protect society. The United States of America, the country where, for the first time in human history, freedom was declared to be an unalienable right granted to each individual by God. Freedom couldn't be parceled out to groups, and it couldn't be controlled by government or government officials, because our great American Constitution ensures and codifies freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom of association, economic freedom, and freedom of the press, no matter how they use it. Now, armed with these freedoms, and only because they had them, uniquely in history and for the first time in history, a ragtag bunch of immigrants, rejects, and their progeny created the richest, most powerful, most culturally diverse and accepting nation ever to grace our planet Earth. America, the only place specifically invented and designed so that every American can live their life in the manner they choose, unlimited by their background, upbringing, race, color, or creed, unhindered by the government or those who would use government to control others for their own comfort, benefit, or power. This Bob Cordaro Show, well, it'll always be convincingly conservative, lovingly logical, proudly and passionately patriotic, and reliably right. And so we gavel to order today's meeting of the Club for Common Sense, promising you that our unwavering commitment to common sense will provide a sanctuary of sanity for all of you in a world where the media, a huge chunk of the media, and the entire Democrat Party leadership has gone insane. Just like, they make no sense whatsoever. And so we're here and ready for action. Right off the bat. Hey, I want to shout out to my friend Paul Lockett. His wife Joellen lets me know that he turns 60 today. That's a big deal, and happy birthday. Very pleased for you, Paul. I call him Sirius, and he's anything but that's what I call him. Quickly, we've got a call. I've got my friend at prison here, Rob Pazeka. He's at Phoenix SCI. He's a lifer there. We've talked to him before, and the reason we've got to take it out of order is because he's only got so much time. Hey, Rob, how are you?
Good morning, Bob. How are you? We got about 8 minutes.
Okay. Fire away, my friend. Tell me what's happening in your world.
So, during COVID, the Department of Corrections, under the guidance of Secretary Retzel, working with the Governor Wolf, they released under 200 prisoners that were susceptible to dying of COVID through reprieve powers. So we're looking at the data and the numbers in Pennsylvania, where we have over 3,000 lifers who are age 50 plus. We have lifers and regular inmates that are non-lifers that are over the age of 80, 90 years old. Yet our governor refuses to release people, and he contributes to the overcrowding of the prisons. None of this makes society or communities any safer than they already are. If you look at it, the released lifers from Philadelphia County have gone to become leaders in their community, have worked with law enforcement, have worked with organizations to stop violence, and they're a big part of the reason that society in Philadelphia is a little bit safer.
Well,
but we have our governor who refuses to get involved.
Well, I mean, Shapiro's a phony fool. I mean, there's no doubt about that. He talks a good game on a lot of things and doesn't deliver.
I agree with that.
Let me ask a question, Rob. I asked it last time we were speaking.
Okay.
What gets you up in the morning? What motivates you when you've got life in prison without possibility of parole right now?
Yes.
What wakes you up in the morning?
What motivates me, what gets me going in the morning is something like this, Bob. We've never met, yet you've come into a prison and you have seen firsthand the good that lifers are capable of. And you gave us a platform. You gave us a voice. And this us versus them mentality has to stop. If we're not working together, we're not accomplishing anything. I have a friend that's a Philadelphia state representative named Andre Carroll. He was up here the other day talking with me, and I told him straight up, Andre, I don't believe in the Democratic Party right now. They're not pushing the issues. I said, I believe in you as a human being. That's why I invited him up here today. And, there are so many Republicans that are great people that I've gotten to know, yet we can't move the needle on this issue until we get the Republican leadership involved. And I've been begging Senator Ward and Senator Pittman to come meet with us. We are the largest prison in the state with the largest lifer and largest elderly population. I have not been able to break through to them yet, but I am diligent and I will not give up. I believe that with their support, we can change laws to make Pennsylvania a better and safer state.
Talking to Rob Pazecka, he's a life prisoner at SCI Phoenix. Rob, so people said when we called in last time, they said, well, we looked up his crimes. It was heinous. It was horrendous. He's got to stay. How do you respond to that? And then I know you're not even talking about yourself. You're talking about the entire lifer population.
Right. And if you look at my crime in particular, yes, I dismembered a corpse. And that is heinous in its own. But, and there's no defending my crime, but if you look at why the crime happened, a lot more people would say, you know what? We have to look into this. We have to look into the real reason why this happened. I'm a child victim of sexual assault, Bob. And this man sexually propositioned me. And, I was 21 years old. I freaked out. When he punched me and assaulted me, it became even worse. It escalated. And I defended myself. In my crime is not self-defense. I am never claiming that. What I did was completely wrong, and I deserve to do time. But this is the ultimate sentence. That's something I don't feel I deserve. But if you leave me out of the equation, there are thousands of people convicted of murder and sentenced to life without parole who did not take a life, who were the co-defendant of a person who did take a life. So we are asking for, all we're looking at is blanket approval to be considered in front of the parole board. The parole board does its job and screens out the people that are not ready for freedom. But we're just looking at an avenue for release, an opportunity to present our case. We cannot go back in front of the courts. That's not allowed. So we're looking at a mechanism to present our best case of our best self, of who we've grown to become after 30, 40, and 50 years in prison.
It is a quandary. It really is. I'm against the death penalty because I think first of all, I don't think it works. And second of all, I don't think anybody has the ability to, or the wisdom to judge another person's life and when it should end.
Right.
But as far as life in prison without parole, I mean, again, correct me or if I'm wrong, you're only asking of the lifers. They're only asking, look, we just want a chance to be considered for
That's
release.
all we're looking for. It's an opportunity to be considered. Make us earn it. Set out criteria, guidelines, specific details to earn it. Just like people on parole, they let child molesters go every week. They go out there and ruin more lives, but when they go reoffend, these same child molesters ruin another child's life. And I was one of those children.
Yeah.
Pennsylvania is notorious. We have such a high sex offender population in this state, and they go home and they return, victimizing more children. Lifers don't re-victimize. Lifers, when released, don't reoffend. Only one lifer in my lifetime that I can recall has ever gone home and committed another homicide, and that was Reginald McFadden, and he was released from a whole nother – he was not released on the merits.
You have 1 minute left.
We have 1 minute, Bob.
All right. Well, Rob Pazeka, we thank you for calling in. It's just, it's a subject that it requires some light. I actually don't even know what I think about it. It always seems to me, though, overall, and I'm no bleeding heart, that there should be a chance after decades in prison. There should be a chance for review. And
that's all we're looking for.
All right. Well, Rob, thank you. Always a pleasure, and we'll talk again soon.
And we will get the incarcerated lady lifers on SCI Muncie to start calling in soon.
Okay.
Maybe hear some of their stories, hear from their perspective.
Okay.
They are mothers and daughters and granddaughters. Thank you, Bob. We really appreciate you and your audience. God bless.
Thank you, Rob Pazeka. He's a life in prison at SCI Phoenix, and I think it's worth us thinking about it. And there's no doubt that in any review, the victims' families would have to be considered. But, I just don't see the lock them up and throw away the key working in every instance. But we shall see. We'll take a break and be back. It's the Bob Cordaro Show. our veterans tribute this hour and every hour, this day and every day, brought to you proudly by our man John Basiliga and his great Basiliga Hospitality Group. They include 3 amazing bar restaurants, Route 307, Springbrook Township, the Old Brook Inn. It's the place is fabulous. And then you go one step further, you've got in West Scranton, the Trips Park section, the Far Street Tavern, on Far Street, of course, a reimagined neighborhood tradition that has just, it's better than ever. And then downtown Oliphant, the Queen City Tavern, Top Shelf, all of these places voted the best in the Reader's Choice Awards. Truly amazing. Edward Kwok, he was 86. We lost him February 25th. He was from Shavertown. Born in Wilkes-Barre, he graduated from Coughlin High School, 1957. Attended King's College, earned a Bachelor of Science degree in 1961. He served all of us in the United States Army from 1961 to 1964. Earned the rank of Specialist 4th Class. He worked as a supervisor for the Pennsylvania Department of Welfare in Luzerne County, 1965 to 2001. A proud gold member of the Great North End Slovak Citizens Club in Wilkes-Barre. He was also a member of St. Teresa's Church, the Dallas American Legion, Carpatho-Russian Citizens Club, the Polish-American Veterans Club in Plains, retired AFSCME. He coached the Back Mountain Little League, Teener League, Mini Football, Dallas High School Football Boosters Club. He loved his polkas. Surviving his wife of 59 years, the former Marianne Eastock. Son Edward, his daughter-in-law, grandson Brian, nieces, nephews, and other family members. Edward Kwok, Sr. Our great veteran this hour, brought to you by John Basiliga and the great Basiliga Hospitality Group. Storm Tracker 16 forecast from meteorologist Joe Snedeker, brought to you by our great friends up at Montage Mountain Resorts. Remember this weekend, the 6th and the 7th, all kinds of things, bands, fireworks, obviously skiing, snowboarding, all going on this weekend, and the weather's going to be perfect. Cloudy with periods of rain today, 45 degrees. Tonight, clouds with a chance of showers. Freezing rain possible in the higher elevations, low 32. Friday, mostly cloudy, 45. Saturday, breaks of sun and clouds with showers moving in late at night, 53 degrees. Sunday morning, showers, then sunny skies in the afternoon, high 60. So the temperature is a little lower than had been predicted, but unlike the climate catastrophe clowns, they adjust their models and they update the weather report. Isn't that fascinating? All of it brought to you by Montage Mountain Resorts. Mountain Fest this weekend, 6th and 7th. Bobby Darin. He released his hit Dream Lover, this date 1959. Good stuff. Bob Cordaro back with you on WILK. So they had this foolish vote on the War Powers Act. Now, I just to sort of lay it out for you a little bit. The War Powers Act was it was a response to Vietnam, and an understandable response, but it's never been tested constitutionally. Now, even under the War Powers Act, this is how stupid and emotional and childlike the Democrat Party is. Even under the War Powers Act, the president is, so let us assume it's constitutional. The president's required to notify and update within 48 hours of a military action, the Congress. Well, he's done that. And then the forces are allowed to stay for 60 days. Well, we're nowhere near 60 days. They don't care about anything but their lunatic agenda. So, and 60 days under the War Powers Act, which I happen to believe is unconstitutional, but okay, discount me. Discount a lot of other legal scholars. And say, all right, the War Powers Act is in effect. So Trump's got to go in 60 days. Well, what are you taking the vote for now? And the Democrats have forced it in the House of Representatives, I believe, today. I just don't, nothing they do makes any sense unless you understand where the monster money is coming from that fuels the Democrat Party and their issues. It comes from the Soros gang, the Arabella group, this communist billionaire by the name of Singham, and others of that ilk. And they want to actively undermine the United States of America, and that's what they're doing. And so the Democrats dutifully follow along with their insanity. Oh, well, we can't enforce the immigration laws. We got to get rid of ICE. The president can't defend the country. We've got to assert the War Powers Act, which wouldn't even go into effect for 40 or 54 more days. We've got to operate and permanently scar and maim confused children in the name of gender-affirming care. We've got to release criminals from prison because they are the oppressed. Victims are irrelevant. It's a sick, twisted, we've got to have an open border because American citizens don't count. You go through the whole thing. It's pure insanity. So you say, well, why would a political party that wants to win elections take the opposite side of every issue against the American people? Because that's where their money is coming from sick, twisted billionaires who want to destroy the United States. And out of that, you get a sick, twisted philosophy, a sick, twisted agenda. It's unbelievable. And it's happening in real time right in front of us. And again, you would ask, well, they must have something behind these issues. They have nothing. They asked that stupid Hakeem Jeffries. Well, Nancy Pelosi was all for Obama going for 7 months after a country and in going to war into Libya. Well, I wasn't there. I wasn't in Congress then. Yeah, well, Nancy Pelosi was, and now she's the one, along with you, dope, who's trying to undermine the president's authority because it would undermine the United States. The Democrat Party has become completely anti-American. We got this goofball, Gahan, a puny little county commissioner who screwed up that job royally, who screwed up at the city of Scranton, who gave us the Biden signs all over the place. And this idiot is releasing confidential memorandum because he's a scum. And he's trying to have Lackawanna County ignore and stop cooperating with ICE. As if it was a problem in the first place, by the way. And you've got a scumbag newspaper that gives him the headline every time he opens his mouth. And he's of no relevance, zero relevance to the governance of Lackawanna County. First of all, because he doesn't care. He doesn't care about the people of Lackawanna County. He cares about his sick issues. He cares about his left-wing lunacy. That's it. And they all work together. It's pure insanity. Then you have colleges, college campuses turning into indoctrination centers. They're trying to do it on the high school and even the grade school level. It's unbelievable. And positions, that's the thing, and I can play you tapes till the cows come home. Of Hillary, of Bill, of Chuck Schumer, of Nancy Pelosi, all of Joe Biden, all taking common sense positions which they now disavow completely and pretend they never held. Because that's where the money went. The money went to the undermining of the country, and the Democrat Party followed. It's a disgrace. We'll take a break and be back. The Yardbirds. They released their hit, For Your Love. Murph tells us this date, 1965. Bob Cordaro back. A couple of texts I want to get to. Defense primer. Somebody texts in, President's constitutional authority with regard to, I'd like to ask Pinocchio, Chuck, why wasn't there all the uproar with Presidents Truman, Nixon, Bush, Obama, Biden using the commander-in-chief powers? Because the Democrat Party was not anti-American at that time. And they understood that a president is in the unique position to take action in defense of the American people and America's interests around the world. Now the money is anti-American, so the Democrat Party is anti-American. It's that simple. It's the old story. Follow the money. Follow the money. It's a crazy thing. Somebody texts in, just because it's President Trump, the left popped the gasket. Most likely Trump derangement syndrome. And frankly, some mental problems of their own. I think many of them are mentally ill. I'm not kidding. I don't say it lightly. I don't say it in humor. You watch them. Like this Van Holland from Maryland. He's practically foaming at the mouth. He's mentally ill. Nancy Pelosi, if she's not drunk, she's cuckoo. You can talk about any of them. Swalwell. Holy God. It is a rogues gallery of sickos. Somebody texts in, Dear Rush. Oh, I mean Bob. Thank you. 6 of one, half dozen of the other. Governor Tim Walz said before at a congressional committee yesterday that those committing a fraud in Minnesota would be arrested, prosecuted, and thrown in jail. Well, I doubt, given the time the fraud has been happening under his watch, that will ever happen. That's from LTS, Tenor Jim. Bloomberg Money Minute, 9:50 on the Picardo's watch. You thought Mr. T made this up, did you? How great is that? I don't know if I ever heard that song, but obviously familiar cadence and all that. The Manish Boys, Murph says, featuring a young David Bowie, released their debut single, I Pity the Fool. The guitar solo was done by Jimmy Page, who was a session musician at the time. How about that? Bob Cordaro back with you on WILK as we approach the top of the hour. So, Obamacare, all right, Affordable Care Act. It has made, as many of us predicted at the time, it has made health insurance unaffordable. You've got higher deductibles, higher copays, higher premiums, because the government, which was screwing up the entire healthcare part of the economy in the first place with their Medicare and Medicaid programs, now added in and screwed things up even worse. Obama had lied about keeping your doctor and keeping your plan. Health insurance prices skyrocketed almost immediately for all Americans. And by 2021, it was so expensive, Biden and the Dems passed temporary subsidies to hide the cost of Obamacare, to hide the fact that it failed. They expired in 2025. Now, by the way, this was their legislation, not anybody else's, all Democrats. So they shut the government down because they wanted an additional $1.5 trillion to pretend Obamacare works and for other nefarious left-wing lunacy. And the benefit to them was, well, it would harm the economy. It would undermine the country. And by the way, it's not a small thing. We don't have the money for these subsidies. We don't have them. We're operating on multi-trillion-dollar deficits and approaching $40 trillion in national debt. This is how insane they are. And I'm telling you, please follow their money. Their money hates America. And that's why everything they do is bad for the country. Everything they promote. It's really something else. And it continues, and they've got a lot of people fooled, and then a lot of people hate Trump. And that, by the way, I don't misunderstand that. It's not, I don't say, well, oh my God, you got to love Trump. You've got to understand that his policies make more sense than anything we've seen in our lifetimes. And he sees something that's going to be a serious threat to the American people like Iran, and he takes care of it. He sees China emerging as our primary foe, and unlike Biden, he doesn't take money from China. He seeks to control their oil and energy in Venezuela and Iran. Common sense. thinking forward, pro-American. And what do the Democrats do immediately? They try to undermine the pro-American actions that he's taking. And these childlike arguments they make, well, why now? Well, I guess we should have waited till they destroyed Israel or till another 1,200 people in Israel were killed. We have an alliance with them. They are our friend. We should let them dominate the Arab countries who are now our friends. Or let them develop an intercontinental missile that could reach the United States. But at least let them use the hypersonic missiles that China gave them to take some of our ships out of the sea. This is how insane they are. And then foolish people following them echo the same idiotic, childlike arguments. It's like a child. I've talked about this, and it truly is childlike. Like, what did the child do? I remember as a little kid, they called me out on first base in some softball game. I stood there, and I folded my arms, and I wasn't leaving the base. Oh, I was out. Fairly unfair. I was out. And I didn't leave the base. That's what a child does. That's the Democrat Party. That's the Trump haters right now. It's scary. It's truly scary, frightening, and intellectually dishonest, and a lot of other things. But it's childlike. Emotions overcoming facts, truth, and reality. All right. Picardo Jewelers is your Raymond Weil, Breitling, Oris, Longines, Michelle, Shinola, Luminox, Swiss Army, Seiko, Tory Butch, Victorinox, Bulova, G-Shock, and more watch store. And they tell me the time is 10:02, which means it's way past time for the news. We'll be back after that. got it, baby. Great good morning. It is 10:09 on this beautiful Thursday, March 5th, 2026. That's what my Picardo Jewelers watch tells me. And they've got their once-a-year wedding band sale this Saturday. Get there or be square, 10 to 5. This is the Bob Cordaro Show. I am he. And it's a big day to fight for America, defend our values. And with the help of our man, John Basiliga, to honor the brave who have made us and kept us free. People like Albert Petrucci, Bunker Hill section of Scranton, late of California. Paul Matuszek, Skaneateles, New York, but he was from Forest City. And Edward Kwok, Sr., Shavertown. So with history, our great founding fathers, and the incomparable Constitution of the United States of America as our guides, let us continue today's battle. Let's find the gavel. It's buried, so I got the gavel, now I got the soundboard. Gaveling back to order this meeting of the Club for Common Sense. I want to continue on a theme. The Democrat Party is following the money, the billionaire money that is funding it, with policies that are clearly anti-American. Let's look at the Green New Deal, all right? The whole thing is a scam. Nobody knows. And we pointed out to you time and time again, this 96% or whatever consensus they agreed to was a lie. Like an outright lie, but what they do, it's classic communist propaganda, is you repeat a lie over and over and over again till people start citing the lie, and then it's believed. Like, well, wait, he said it. Everybody knows that. And so if they believed that the planet was coming to an end, which is what they've said, well, number one, you wouldn't have stopped talking about it. When's the last time you heard somebody talking about the world ending? Climate change. Oh, maybe when they clear cut 10 miles and 80 feet, 100 feet wide of the Amazon forest, which was also critical to the world's existence and survival, so that these clowns could fly their private jets and take their limousines to a climate conference in Brazil. Maybe you heard about it then while they were destroying the environment. But their main solution was battery-powered cars. What did the battery-powered cars do? They undermined the American economy. Tens of billions of dollars, I think it's about $42 billion lost by Western car companies because they were forced to produce battery-powered cars. And were they better for the environment? Unfortunately, and by the way, predictably, the answer is no. They were just bad for the economy, bad for American workers. The strip mining process. Land devastated, slave labor, Chinese control, the diesel equipment used, the manufacturing process, which required extra energy, the operation of the vehicle. They use fossil fuels to power the to create the electric, including oil and coal. They need more oil and coal so you can do these battery-powered cars. The fires, insufficient power grid, all of this was known. The tires, because the cars are so heavy, polluted. They cause us to build more roads, all kinds of things over time. Dispose of the car. They have no idea what to do with the batteries. Never mind if they catch on fire. It's unbelievable. Battery disposal, power grid issues, power failures in a crisis. Chinese control of the industry because they control the rare earth minerals and other items which they're destroying the environment to get. Like, there's nothing honest about them. Nothing. But these two fools from Minnesota, Waltz and Ellison, go before Congress yesterday. That's why we played that clip of a congressman dissecting how Tim Waltz was discovered. Yeah, Rip Taylor without confetti. And you say, why are these people doing this? And by the way, he's the guy who was the Manchurian candidate from China. Waltz. People, he's so stupid, he's overshadowed his frightening Chinese connections. It's unreal to take every single issue that the Democrats stand for, it undermines the country. And they don't want any of those issues fixed, like having ICE agents deport illegals and illegal criminals. Number one, because it would admit they did it in the first place. And number two, because they want them here for their own political advantage. They don't care about the American people. They don't care about you. This is today's Democrat Party. It's insanity. And again, why? You just say, well, why? It's very simple, unfortunately. Follow the money. And the money that is intended to undermine the American way of life is provided by people who want to destroy America. It's unbelievable. Oh, yeah, the Chinese, too. It's quite amazing. So Bob LTS, Facebook friend, had a post that this war is just a distraction from the Epstein files. Like, are they? You're right. These people are insane. I've unfriended them because I can't deal with that level of stupidity, says Slick. Slick, you're right. It's not worth it. I do it all the time. And it doesn't matter if I like you. If you're that stupid to publicly step out and make that kind of statement, I don't want to deal with it. By the way, I'll be friendly to you, whatever. I'll have a beer with you even if we run into each other. But I am not going to listen to insanity and stupidity because apparently if you post something that stupid, you are that stupid. The Epstein files. The Epstein files. That was the ultimate anti-Trump. That was the ultimate anti-Trump. And it failed miserably. Bill Clinton testified that Trump had nothing to do with him. What are you going to do now? You're going to continue lying. Unreal. Hey, Bob, you're missing one important point about the money that Soros and the other criminals are using. It's stolen government money in the first place. Yes, it is. A lot of it is. All of these, and this is why they attacked Doge so viciously and attacked Tesla cars. It's the font of the money. George Soros-related entities, nonprofit groups, left-wing lunatic groups, are massively funded by the federal government and your state governments, and yes, your local governments. NGOs, nonprofits, $1 trillion a year. And then they use that money against the American people to undermine the country. And they had to stop it at all costs. It had to be stopped. And I'm disappointed, I'll be honest with you, disappointed that Trump backed down on Doge. They proved what government money was being used for, $1 trillion a year. They proved that it was all stolen. Even these sick programs like Sesame Street in Iraq, none of the money got there. It went through a nonprofit who went through another nonprofit who hired lawyers and consultants, and they ate up all the money before it got overseas for any one of those crazy USAID programs. Unbelievable. There's a fool text sending in, no money for subsidies, but money to fight Israel's fight. It's ours, dummy. It is our fight, dummy. You're so stupid. I can't even, again, how do we talk to you? I'm done with being nice. Oh, well, you know, they just have a different position. Oh, Lord, no money for subsidies. There's no money for any of it. You don't even understand that. That doesn't penetrate your skull. It's unreal. Bob, we don't have the money because we spent $10 trillion fighting wars over the last 20 years. Yeah, like Afghanistan, idiocy, money and treasure, disaster, and a disastrous exit by a scumbag idiot president. This is not a war of choice with Iran. This is a preemptive war to prevent serious and certain damage by lunatics who said what they were going to do when they developed the weapons. They told us what they were going to do. Start World War III to bring back the 12th Imam. They said it over and over and over again. And apparently, if you can't hear that because you're covering your ears like a child, then you say, well, this is a war of choice and he didn't have to do it now. Frightening. All right, we got to take a break. Bob Cordaro, WILK. Let's hear from our great sponsors. A little history, a little music, and then you. The Stones, this date, 1966, they moved from number 46 to number 12 with their hit 19th, Nervous Breakdown. And 1946, this date, Winston Churchill, already defeated as prime minister after leading the Brits through the war. And maybe that was a sign of where Britain was to head, which is disgraceful where they are now. But he delivered his Iron Curtain speech. Westminster College, Fulton, Missouri. Great, great stuff. And an amazing leader for all time. 9 Principles of Propaganda. I haven't read them in a while. Was sent by John Hacks Patterson. Number 1, lie big. Big lies work better than small because the masses won't believe that anyone would lie about that. Number 2, focus. Don't make it complicated. Ignore history. Keep it simple for simple minds. And I don't say that there are people that are following this are dumb. They choose to be dumb or they're not paying close attention. Number 3, repeat. People cannot tell the difference between facts and familiarity. If they hear the same words repeated enough, they become true in their minds. Number 4, blame. Never credit the other side. Always blame, debase, defame, and dehumanize. Sounds like the anti-Trump playbook. Number 5, provoke. Outrage, fear, and resentment are more powerful than reason, logic, or facts. Oh, ISIS, they grabbed a 5-year-old. Just keep lying about it. 6, crisis. Issues must be life or death, good versus evil, love versus hate, us versus them. Urgency defeats objection. Number 7, emotion. A person might question facts, but they will never question their own feelings. Go emotional. Number 8, pander. Ignore reasonable arguments. Demonize all who disagree as having bad intentions. The 9 Principles of Propaganda, number 9. No limits. Morality is for losers. The victor's morality will not be questioned. No limits. Let's go to the phone. Mike from Duryea. Michael, how are you?
Good. It's raining out as usual. It's better than snow.
I like rain.
You know, I hear you. Well, actually, I got 2 things. One is the strategy. How come the news hasn't announced a new guy that Trump hired for strategy? The top guy for the American chess people, Nakamura. He's like the top chess guy. It's a joke, by the way.
Not a very good one, Michael. Let's be honest.
Well, no.
Well, you gotta, come on. If you gotta explain it, it's not working. But that's okay. You gave it a shot.
No, I am. No, I mean, first it was Mexico, and then they had intel, and they killed that head guy, the head guy in Mexico. So starting. Then he went to Venezuela. All right. Now he's back to Iran, and then now it's was it Caracas? I think they're going back to now. I mean, it's amazing how he's shifting all over the place, which is good. And China was doing that. You know, first Trump was Panama. You know, why is China there? And China was doing that too. They were trying to take different areas of the world. So the strategy is that Trump's doing is the same thing that China is doing. Or was doing.
Yeah.
But now Trump
We're taking it back. The Democrats, the anti-American Democrats, let all of this insanity happen, incling Iran.
That's where I was going with the chess.
Financed Iran.
The chess match.
They financed Iran. It's insane.
Well, Iran now with Russia and China is that Iran is like the queen. We're taking the queen away from the chessboard.
Yeah. Yep.
If you think about it, and once we take the queen away, you know, the chess game is going to be over pretty much for the world.
For a period of time. Unfortunately, the battle is over, but the war goes on.
Get back to the Epstein file. You know, everything is Epstein. Who is supplying the senators and congressmen to keep porn.com on the internet? I mean, you could go on there and you could find all type of stuff. Women against women, sex against, men against women, men against men. Horses, I'm getting a little facetious, but horses with
I
women.
know, but we don't have to get into
I mean,
all the details there.
well, no. What I'm saying though is that nobody's saying nothing about all this stuff on there, where these 13-year-old boys and girls have access to videos, whether it's 3 minutes or 5 minutes.
And we've got to take a break. But Mike, it's an important point. There is within leadership class globally and in this country a sick pedophilia that is
there's too much money being made in that area. So what happened was, it's like cigarettes and porn. I mean, there's so much money being made that these congressmen or senators are being paid off, whether it's cigarettes or porn. I mean, there's too much money
that
made.
Cigarettes are less harmful than pedophilia. But hey, we got to go, my man.
Well,
Always a
you're right
pleasure.
about that.
And
okay.
you pointed it out.
All
Thank
right,
you. Playing chess. He's playing chess. And for us, no matter how selfish a person the guy was his whole life, no matter how self-centered he is, he's doing it for us, for this country. We'll take a break and be back. Well, Sergeant Barry Sadler had the #1 adults chart hit this date, 1966, says Murph, as well as the #1 Billboard charts hit with the Ballad of the Green Beret. And this hour's Veterans Tribute brought to you by John Basiliga and his great Basiliga Hospitality Group, 3 amazing bar restaurants. Check them out. I'm telling you, you will be impressed. The Old Brook Inn in Springbrook Township, the Far Street Tavern, West Side, Scranton, Queen City Tavern, downtown Oliphant. 2 amazing bar restaurants, Terra 519, downtown Scranton, and the Stegmeyer Mansion, downtown Wilkes-Barre. Unreal. Albert Petrucci, a Bunker Hill legend, has passed from this mortal coil on the 8th anniversary of his son Salvatore's passing, and only a few weeks away from celebrating his 90th birthday. He died February 21st this year. His family says an absolute giant of a personality and a man who approached life with what the Italians call la dolce vita, the good life of simple pleasures. Albert contained multitudes, the phrase Walt Whitman used in his poem Song of Myself. He approached life with bravo and gusto. For like the old sports writer Red Smith once wrote, dying is no big deal. The least of us will achieve that. The trick is in the living. Born in the Bunker Hill section of Scranton, he was educated in Scranton schools, graduating from the great Scranton Technical High School in 1951. He served in the U.S. Army in Germany post-World War II. After returning home from overseas, he became a longtime policeman for the city of Scranton. He married Audrey Adamiak Petrucci and had 3 children. During the 70s, he and his family ran Petrucci's Bar and Grill in the Upper Hill section of Scranton. Introducing to a mainly German and English neighborhood the taste of joy of Italian cooking. After retiring, Albert proceeded to build an amazing transportation business. He was especially fond, however, of St. Anne's Novena, praying the rosary in his home, Bunker Hill Parish, St. Rocco's. During the 1990s, he was proud to help his daughter Lisa in her grocery business and proud of his son Salvatore's dental practice. They also started a drug and alcohol rehabilitation center in Malibu, California. Later in life, he was often in the company of his longtime friend and adopted son, Anthony DeLeo. He was immensely proud of his 6 grandchildren. Preceded in death by his wife, Audrey, his son, Salvatore. He survived by his daughter and other family members. Albert Petrucci, our veteran this hour, brought to you by John Basiliga and the Basiliga Hospitality Group. Storm Tracker 16 forecast from meteorologist Joe Snedeker. Well, all of that brought to you by Montage Mountain Resorts. You got to check the weather because you got to know what are they doing up at Montage today. Well, this weekend is the big weekend. Now, you can still ski for $49 tonight and this afternoon, including the rental. But this weekend is Mountain Fest. It's going to be awesome. Fireworks, bands, fun, and, of course, skiing and snowboarding. Today, cloudy with periods of rain, high 45. It's 45 as I speak outside the studio. Tonight, clouds with a chance of showers. Freezing rain is possible in the higher elevations, low 32. Friday, mostly cloudy, 45. Saturday, breaks of sun and clouds with showers moving in late at night, high 53. Sunday, morning showers, then sunny skies in the afternoon, 60. And then the next week sounds lovely, and I need it. I'm under the weather. And I want to go to my son's play tonight. It's a big deal for me to get there. But that's the weather brought to you by our friends at Montage. In the lodge at Montage. Oh, we got places to go. We got to go to Montage Mountain this weekend for Mountain Fest. Tyler Crawford from Montage. Talk to us, man. Tell us about it. What is happening this weekend at Montage Mountain?
We are getting ready right now, and do not let the rain today discourage you. It looks like the rain's going to stop early tomorrow morning, and we're going to have a pretty rain-free event. So tomorrow we're looking forward to the Cardboard Classic, a bunch of crazy people riding down the ski slopes and homemade cardboard boxes, some of the best you'll ever see. And yeah, then we
That is
have some
fun. I've
80s
seen
music.
that. I've seen that. It is a lot of fun. And people are like incredibly imaginative.
Oh, it's wild. We have some backyard engineers that come out and just make it awesome. I mean, there's T-Rexes, there's pirate ships, there's everything you can imagine.
Nice. And if you
Yep,
don't
so
ski,
then-
it's fun to watch.
Oh my gosh, it's fun for anyone. And yeah, you see some people make it down, you see some people not make it down. It's all part of the fun.
Yeah. And you got music?
Lots of music. We've got the M80s playing some 80s favorites tomorrow afternoon. And then, of course, on Saturday, we've got live performances by Wheatus and the one and only Sugar Ray. We're very excited. And then scattered throughout, we have local musicians. Basically the whole time. Wherever you walk through, there's going to be music playing. There's skiing, snowboarding. Of course, there's all your favorite bar specials. We're just excited. We can't wait.
And it's outside and inside all the music, right? So wherever you go, it's there.
Oh yeah, I would say yep, half and half. All the big names are out on the main stage on the snow. And again, the weather I'm looking at right now looks like we're going to have a nice pause in the rain for the majority of Friday and Saturday. So we're excited about that. And then, yeah, music inside as well. So whether you want to enjoy inside, outside, skiing, not skiing, there's fun, entertainment, everything you can imagine all around.
And fireworks. Fireworks
And
in winter
fireworks.
are special to me. They really are.
It's crazy seeing the fireworks reflect off the snow. It feels like the show's so much bigger than it is. And of course, we spare no expense for our fireworks up here on the mountain. We use Celebration fireworks, and they are just the best. They put on the best shows in town.
So the 6th and the 7th, all day, Mountain Fest at Montage. Tyler, thank you, brother. I'm excited to see it. Excited to be there.
Absolutely. Make sure you stop by and say hi. Enjoy the show.
All right, my man. Thank you. Montage Mountain, the place to be this weekend, without doubt. We'll take a break and be back. It's the Bob Cordaro Show. Well, we can't wait for the whole thing to when the drums come in. But I'll tell you, I played this at the Shindig, Dunmore High School's musical talent show, a drummer, back in, what was it, 77. How about that? Led Zeppelin, Murph says. This date, 1971, started out on a new tour at Ulster Hall, Belfast, Northern Ireland, and premiered their new hit single, Stairway to Heaven. Great song. Hey, let's go to Donald from Pittston. Hi, Donald. How are you?
Oh yeah, I wanted to. I called you about not even a week ago. I said we have to be professional. We have to win these midterms by doing that, and the professional lady and woman always win. Well, perfect example is Crockett's gone. This Jason Crockett, she's finished after this term. Congress and all. It just goes to show you though.
Well, the reason she got beat, though, let me say this. I think the reason she got beat, it was a combination of normal Democrat voters who said this person is completely bonkers and really stupid. And then a combination of people saying this phony clergyman, Tallarico, is the guy that we could win the seat back, and he can cover up his insanity better than Crockett can.
Well, we could expose him later, but she was the worst of the worst because every TV show, she even talked about the issues. MSNBC, I watched every interview. She just talked about race and how she was being abused as a black woman and all this nonsense. And like my mom's in business. Half my customers are people of color black. I have no problem with black people. I have friends are black. And it was so ridiculous.
Well, when she goes out with a bang too,
your listeners
Donald.
love you. They're black. Come on.
She went out with a bang. She went out with a bang by saying that the Republicans interfered with and stole the Democrat primary from her. She's insane.
She's grabbing for straws. Well, she was like Condoleezza Rice, a professional black woman. She'd still be at that seat talking common sense issues. She's not. It reminds me of a movie I once saw. Did you ever see the movie Duel?
Yes.
The guys chased him in a truck.
TV movie, Steven Spielberg's first movie.
Yeah, Dennis Weaver. Well, Trump is Dennis Weaver, and eventually they go off the cliff. They go in the wrong direction, go so far till they go off the cliff.
I hope you're
right. And Trump jumps out, jumping around. Every time I see that movie, I think of Donald J. Trump. And they're going after whether it's Adam Schiff or whatever. They're going in the wrong direction, and that's
the difference is Trump would be driving in a limousine. Donald, thank you, my man. My Picardo Jewelers watch tells me that we're approaching 10:50, and there it is on the nose. Biden banner disgrace, day 80. The Green Ridge Neighborhood Association has put up a hometown hero banner for Joe Biden, who did not serve, in fact, avoided with all of his might serving the military. And he's on a banner that hails him as a veteran. It's wrong, it's stupid, it's ignorant, and it debases our veterans who actually served this country. And we say again to the Green Ridge Neighborhood Association, you can embarrass yourselves all you want by associating with this fool. Don't debase our veterans. And you could reach them, Green Ridge Neighborhood Association at gmail.com. Let them know what you think. Biden banner disgrace, day 80. So while I think of something disgraceful, like the Biden banner put up by the Green Ridge Neighborhood Association, I think of something great, which is Mother Teresa for today. St. Teresa, March 5th. Wow, time is going on. God is joy. Joy is prayer. Joy is a sign of generosity. When you are full of joy, you move faster and you want to go about doing good to everyone. Joy is a sign of union with God, of God's presence. Amen, Mother Teresa, St. Teresa. Always fabulous, always puts us back on track, doesn't she? The great St. Teresa. So, guys, here's where the Democrat Party's at. John from Edwardsville gives me an LTS. He says, hey, Bob, did you see the front page of the Citizen's Voice complaining about gas prices because of Trump? And also that the ocean is rising and we are in trouble again. A disgusting paper. It is. It is so horrible. It truly is. We didn't get it here today for some reason. But they're complaining about the gas prices. Did they do it when Biden did it for no good reason? No, they didn't. Because they had that Green Ridge Neighborhood Association mentality. Art W says, Bob, could you get De Niro or Springsteen on your show and try to give them a lesson of fact, truth, and reality? They're immune. They are completely immune. Amazing. Bob LTS, what do you think of Pete Hegseth? Do you think he is the best for the position? I think he's a bit of a showman, but hope he knows what we trust with him. Your opinion, thanks. Great show. Yeah, I've been happy with his performance. I mean, the things that bother me about Trump is when he overstates his case or says something is done before it's done. And his policies are so great, you don't have to oversell them. They're so common sense, you don't have to oversell them. And I don't know, I sense Pete Hegseth's overselling a little bit. Although, frankly, he is in the sales business, which is to get recruits, and that has gone fabulously well. But no, was he the best person ever for the job? Well, we tried generals. We tried defense industry experts. And now we try a lieutenant colonel. And I always say this, not to say there have never been good generals. There have been plenty of great generals, not many, but plenty in terms of percentages. But everything gets done and the war gets fought from colonel down. And they make up for the mistakes of the generals and the planners. So I think he's the right guy right now. And I've been happy with him. I've been happy with him. So yeah, I'm pro Pete Hegseth. I truly am. But I look at my Cordaro Jewelers watch and it tells me it's 11:01, almost 11:02. That means we've got to take a break for that, the news. We'll take this break. We'll come back. It's the Bob Cordaro Show. great good morning, everyone. Bacardo Jewelers, your Breitling watch store, says the time is 11:09 here in the great Northeast. This beautiful Thursday, March 5, 2026. This is the Bob Cordaro Show, and I am he. And it's a big day to fight for America, defend our values. And with the help of our man John Basiliga and his great Basiliga Hospitality Group, to honor the brave who have made us and kept us free. People like Paul Matuszek, late of Skinny Atlas, New York, but he was from Forest City. Albert Petrucci, late of California, but he was from the Bunker Hill section of Scranton. And Edward Kwok Sr., Shavertown. So with history, our great founding fathers, and the incomparable Constitution of the United States of America as our guides, let us continue today's battle. Gaveling back to order this meeting of the Club for Common Sense, promising you that our commitment to common sense is so all-encompassing that we will provide a sanctuary of sanity for all of you in a world where a major political party, the Democrats, has gone insane and is being led around by the nose by scumdog millionaires. Unreal. Hey, somebody corrected me. Somebody corrected me. I call it a soundboard. It's a sound block. I'm trying to find the darn text, but I can't find it because I want to give credit where credit is due. I don't, just so you guys know, I don't mind being corrected because I make enough mistakes. In any event. The liberal media, one of the listeners texted, the liberal media and the Democrat Party are joined at the hips. They're so consumed with Trump derangement, they will do and say anything to undermine our country so that President Trump fails. They care less about health care, price of gas, or environment. Don't be fooled. Vote straight Republican for the midterms. And I hate to say that because I don't find solace in a political party. I really do not. I find sadness in the descent of the Democrat Party into disgrace, into pursuing, for whatever reason, its hatred of the country, the hatred of the country by their money supply, their funding sources. And they figured out how to steal off of the government through NGOs and nonprofits. Doge caught them, and they reacted violently. By the way, the 9 principles of propaganda, it's John Hooks Patterson. So named, he was a 6'3" tight end that specialized in the hook route. You just send hooks out there, he turned, and the ball was there. And he caught it. Yeah, it's something else. Hey, was one other thing I was going to – oh, by the way, this hour of the program brought to you by Tina Morocco, Global Sales Advisor at Sotheby's International in Naples, Florida. She is one of their top producers. And what you know what's most important? Not only does she know her business, but you can trust her. I mean, you're going out to make this huge investment. Trust is everything. You can reach her at tinamorocco.com, MURACCO, or just call Sotheby's International in Naples, and you'll find her. But, yeah, guys, crazy stuff with this nutty Democrat Party and their leadership. And it's all, everything is about undermining the good of the country and the good of the American people. The DEI, you can't name one policy that's not deleterious or outright destructive of the American dream and the American way of life because they hate it. Tom from Bloomsburg texts in, Bob, I love Stairway to Heaven. you and everyone have to see and hear Hart's rendition at the Kennedy Center a few years ago. Interesting. Okay. Good to know. It is a song I like. Yeah, I got to tell you guys, they're getting scarier and scarier. We now have a Soros DA in Virginia who let out this savage. The cops warned him he's going to kill, he's going to snap. Well, he did. And now somebody's dead. What are you, arrested like 72 times? Most of those arrests for violent crimes? These people are crazy. Larry Krasner in Philadelphia, insane. Bragg in Manhattan, insane. It's crazy stuff. And they're not doing that for anybody's good. Believe me, they're not. All right, we got JSCK. I'm guessing Bulldog. Bulldog, did you maybe hit the wrong, you might have hit the wrong letter, Bulldog? It's Jack from Scranton. That's my guess. Is it Jack?
Yeah, it's me, Jack. How you doing?
Yeah, Bulldog wrote JSCK. He doesn't have, he's a Bulldog. He doesn't have opposable thumbs, so sometimes he makes mistakes.
We'll have to take him back to school. He could be able to show him his stuff. He's a nice guy, though. I like him.
Oh, he's the best. He's a Bulldog.
Okay, I want to talk about the mayor. How and I remember a couple of months ago she was going crazy about the roads in Scranton and the patches that they were doing, and if they didn't do things right, she wasn't going to let them have any more permits to do any patches. Does she ever ride on some of these roads? Some of these roads, these patches, they look like somebody puked in them. You know what I mean?
It's
and just
unreal.
threw stuff on them.
It's unreal. I almost broke my ankle getting into my truck today, which might please the mayor. But the pothole was so deep.
Why would you have a new car in Scranton? Why would you have a new car? You're going to ruin the car. And the Democrats, one more thing about the Democrats. I have a friend of mine. He was in my wedding. I'm in his wedding. He was a Democrat his whole life. I'm a Republican my whole life. Just recently, he was telling me, he said, you know what, the Democrats are digging their own grave, and I'm a Democrat. He goes, look, Biden made me sick. I want to puke when I see him on television. It's disgusting. He goes, whatever happened to the old Kennedy days when John Kennedy was in there? John Kennedy and Ronald Reagan were almost exact people, and they were in different parties. And then I don't know the hell's the matter. They're digging a hole. They're digging a hole for themselves.
But I hope Democrats, true normal Democrats, are getting this and realizing that everything that the Democrat Party leadership, by the way, other than John Fetterman, which is amazing, everything they say is a lie. Everything they promote is anti-American. It's unreal.
Well, you know what Fetterman said the other day? He says, I'm going to see if I could convince some of my colleagues to, straighten himself out and start flying the right way. I'm thinking to myself, that's disgusting for a Democrat to say and to try to straighten out the rest of my Democrats. Isn't that disgusting?
Well, Jack, think of who they are. Like Chuck Schumer, one of the most disgraceful people ever born. Like these are really awful, mediocre people. And
the reason why Trump is doing what he's doing right now is because of Biden. Yeah. Because he left him get away with anything. He was practically in bed with them having sex, I mean, and Obama before that. Every time he puts, he said, cross this line, remember? They crossed it. All right, cross this one, cross this one, cross this one. And he never did nothing. I mean, you know what I mean? What are you going to do?
They not only allowed Iran to become the danger that they are, they helped them fund. Not only the $1.4 billion he sent over on pallets in cash, not only that, but they were allowed under Joe Biden to earn hundreds of billions of dollars, which they then used against us and to arm themselves for attacking us and our allies with that money that Biden allowed them to have. It's insane.
But you know what that reminds me of with him and all the different countries. It's like if you're going out with a girl, right? And you're trying to be nice to her and you're kissing her, trying to make her happy. And the more you make her happy, the more she treats you like garbage. So sooner or later, you got to give her a kick, where, and get her out of there and find somebody who's decent.
Yeah.
I don't know. What's their problem?
There is no one in sight in the Democrat Party that would be of any benefit to this country. Nobody for president. It's insane.
But you know, a few of them are in the Trump administration right now.
Yeah.
Like Kennedy. Kennedy's in the Trump administration. And you know what? If you went behind closed doors and says, let's talk about this off the record, I'll bet you a lot of them would say, yeah, we're for Trump, but we can't say that.
Well,
we can't say it.
I hope so.
They give their
I
orders.
hope they do it.
Mind numb robots.
Yep, no doubt.
Yep.
Hey, Jack, thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay.
By the way, the Bulldog corrected your name on the screen.
Tell him thank you.
All right, Jack, thank you. Hey, we've got to take a break. Bob Cordaro, WILK. I'll leave you with this from Lou Holtz, who he frustrated me incredibly in his second 5 years, his last 5 years as coach of Notre Dame, but I liked him, and I ended up loving him. He died yesterday at age 89. He's quoted as saying, and this was sent to me by a friend of mine, your wife is not your best friend. Your dog is. Lock the two of them in the back of a trunk. Come back 2 hours later and see which one is happy to see you. We'll take a break and be back. I always admired his talent, but I wasn't a major fan because he was such a freak. But I went to see the play, Michael Jackson play on Broadway. Unbelievable. This date, 1983, Mrs. Jackson had the number one R&B and the number one Billboard charts hit with Billie Jean. Bob Cordaro back with you. And something I wished, by the way, two things I'm going to mention now is just how life is. I mentioned my friend Paul Lockett, and it's his birthday, and I did not know this. I loved his father, Al Lockett, and he would have been 93 today, passed away years ago. How about that? That is great. And then somebody texted in, I'm very sorry to hear that Joe Tarana passed away. And as I said, there's another friend in his early 60s passing away far too young. Joe Tarana, God bless him. God bless him. Our friend John Tarana, his brother, of course, and Angelo, the whole family. But yeah, that's life, right? That is life. That's how it goes. Now, back to something less important in a way, but very telling. National Electrical Contractors Association has endorsed Rob Bresnahan for Congress. They know, they cite his work on infrastructure, his understanding of the business in general, but certainly the construction business, instead of just an empty pantsuit like Mayor Cognetti, who can't even pave the streets in Scranton. I'm telling you, I drive around. It is worse than ever. It's getting worse and worse. Now that she won the mayor's race, yet enough stupid people in Scranton vote for her. And yes, you are stupid. And I'm driving around. It's like, I'm telling you, it's Fallujah after an airstrike. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Yeah, somebody said, let us remember the Biden-Iran policy. Don't. That scrappy kid from Scranton, he handled Iran like he did corn pop. Yep, exactly. Did anybody, no protest about that, I think, very funny story? By the way, I was going down the garage today. I can't go. I'm very disappointed. I'm just not feeling well. And I've got to get to the Shakespeare Theater. Either tonight or tomorrow night. I've got to get there. But, yeah. I mean, Biden-Obama didn't just allow Iran to become a major source of evil power in the world. They literally paid them to do it. Now, if that doesn't undermine America and our allies, I don't know what does. What do you say about these people? Could you have been, and I ask this as a general sense, could anyone have been so naive? Well, when John Kerry is your Secretary of State, you know you've got problems. But could you have been so naive that you thought Iran would honor a deal? The JTPOA or whatever the hell it was called. To not develop nuclear weapons. And right in everybody's face, as soon as the deal was signed, in fact, maybe even before, they were flouting their development of ballistic missile systems. It's a remarkable thing. It's so asinine, you can't make it up. And they were going to honor the agreement? It's astonishing. Trump has to correct so many things on so many fronts, and his administration is doing an amazing job of it. Better than I thought possible, I admit that. And not taking away from him, but I'm just surprised they're able to attack on all fronts the insanity of the Democrat Party and the establishment. A couple of texts, try riding a motorcycle in Scranton. It would be lethal. I drive down my street every day, and I can't even believe it. This is not it's not a street. It's a series of holes. It's a matter of which hole is less damaging to your car. And just as this texter says, or this listener says, yeah, our politicians can't even keep our roads fixed. But people expect the same politicians to get socialism right. Yeah, Paige wants to run your life along with her fellow insane people. And she can't even pave a street. And she was handed $69 million to do it. Now, somebody has something I'm not aware of. They said, hey, Bob, how about the fact that Republicans in the Senate are refusing to go into recess so Trump can make recess appointments? The only president in history that has not been allowed to make recess appointments. Thune is starting to bother me. You know, these Senate traditions, they're all going to be broken by the Democrats. You are crazy to think that's not true. I don't understand it. Nuts. All right, we got to take a break. Bob Cordaro, WILK. Let's hear from our great sponsors. We're going to do Veterans Tribute, a little weather. We got a little video clip for you, which will, of course, is an audio clip to you. And then we'll come back with Tina Morocco. She's going to tell us more about Florida. And today's the day when we want to be there. We'll be back. Our Veterans Tribute this hour and every hour, this day and every day, brought to you by our man, John Basiliga, and his great Basiliga Hospitality Group. Well, my gosh, is the weekend's here. It's Thursday, as we say in Dunmore. 3 great bar restaurants. You'll love any one of them, and you should try them all. The Old Brook Inn, Springbrook Township, 307. The Far Street Tavern, 1601 Far Street in West Scranton. Queen City Tavern, downtown Oliphant, right on the main drag. Fine dining, yep, the best. A Terra 519. And don't forget, they've got the menu after hours on Friday and Saturday nights. And they have the happy hour. $10 drinks, $6 beers. You can enjoy the luxury of that place for nothing. The Terra 519. And I cannot say enough about how gorgeous the Mary Stegmeyer Mansion is in downtown Wilkes-Barre. Paul Matuszek. He was 94 when we lost him February 26th. He lived in Skaneateles. Preceded in death by his wife, Helen Bendick Matuszek. She passed in 2019. Born in Forest City, member of St. Peter and Paul Russian Orthodox Church, Uniondale, a graduate of Forest City High School. Paul was a veteran of the United States Air Force, serving us during the Korean War. Prior to retirement, he was employed as a stationary and maintenance engineer for BASF Corporation, Rensselaer, New York. Surviving, 3 daughters spread out around the country, 4 granddaughters, 2 grandsons, 1 great-grandson, 3 great-granddaughters, nieces, and nephews. A great legacy, Forest City's Paul Matuszek. Our veteran this hour brought to you by John Basiliga and Basiliga Hospitality. Storm Tracker 16 forecast from meteorologist Joe Snedeker. Brought to you by our friends at Montage Mountain, who are bringing you this weekend, the 6th and the 7th, all day, those 2 days, Mountain Fest. Bands, music all over the place, indoors and out. Obviously, skiing, snowboarding, and the weather's going to be ideal. And then fireworks on top of all that. Amazing. Today, cloudy with periods of rain, high 45. Well, it's already 46 outside the studios. Tonight, clouds with a chance of showers, freezing rain possible in the higher elevations, 32 degrees. Friday, mostly cloudy, 45. Saturday, breaks of sun and clouds with showers moving in late at night, high 53. Sunday, morning showers, then sunny skies in the afternoon, 60 degrees. And I heard tell from Joe himself that it's going to get even nicer next week. It's going to be like spring. And it isn't spring yet. Sue the cat texts in. She says, Dems have sold their soul to the devil. Yeah, yes, they have. And these are human devils. For money. For money. Well, hit it, Bulldog. Well, you know what that song means. That means it's time to talk to Tina Morocco, Global Sales Advisor at Premier Sotheby's International in Naples, Florida. You can reach her always at Tina Morocco, MURACCO.com. And here she is. Theme song in hand, Tina. How are you?
Well, that song makes me happy, too. I'm good.
Hey, we're going to get decent weather here next week, but it's nothing like what you're experiencing down there, is it?
Right. No, it's 86 degrees here today. It's summertime.
It's a different planet.
It is. It is.
Well, tell me, what about what's happening in Southwest Florida real estate? What's your eye on today?
So today, where I am today, I just finished up a virtual final walkthrough in Cape Coral. So I have a customer closing tomorrow. She can't come down. She wanted me to just take a look, and so I did that for her. FaceTimed her, and everything's good to go. So now I'm headed to North Naples for some showings.
Hey, you mentioned that so many of the sort of difficult parts of the purchase can be accomplished without having to travel back and forth from here in Northeast PA, or frankly, we got people listening all over the country. But wherever they are, you don't have to keep going back and forth to make this happen.
Definitely. No part of it has to be done in person. And oftentimes we sell virtually. I've sold quite a few properties where the customers didn't even see it before they came down to after closing. So, we have, from opening showing until closing time, we can do it all remotely. And I do a lot of showings remotely.
And you point out what is so important, and I told the audience earlier in the program, the reason you go to somebody like Tina Morocco is not, of course, your knowledge of the real estate market, particularly in Southwest Florida, but Florida writ large, is so huge and so critical. But the other part of it is you've got to have somebody you trust, because you're making maybe the biggest investment in your life.
Yeah, definitely. So, we like to make it easy, and we like to make it fun. So that's that's my job.
All right, you got two places. Tell me again where you're showing and closing.
So I'm showing some properties this afternoon in North Naples in a community called Esplanade. Now that's a bundled golf community. I don't know if we talked about bundled golf. That's where the golf. Yeah, that's where the golf is bundled into your HOA fees. So your membership. In the community, you either have a social membership or a golf membership, and the membership is tied to the property. So your HOA fees differ a little bit. If you're only there for like the tennis and the restaurant and the pool and everything like that, social membership is good for you. But if you're there to golf, the golf membership, you have to find a property that matches up with your interests. So you get a golf property with all the benefits there. And oftentimes it's much more affordable than getting, a private golf club membership here. So,
me likey. Me likey that.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, that's
Hey,
neat.
I wanted to tell you, last night we were out, Dominic and I were out in North Naples. We went to a restaurant called BC Clet. And the chef there is kind of a celebrity chef in our area. She's been on the Food Network, on Chopped Champions. Last night we went for her event. She was on the debut of Guy Fieri's Flavor Town food fight episode. And so Dominic and I were there for their premiere. So it was a lot of fun. But as soon as we walked in, I saw somebody from Scranton.
There you go. Listen, we are the people from Northeast Pennsylvania are everywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
I said, if you're going to try to cheat on your wife, you can't even do it in Brazil. Don't do it.
Not in Naples.
Certainly not in Naples and Southwest Florida. Tina, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Have a great weekend, and we were happy to talk to you this week. And I'm looking forward to next week and hearing more.
Okay, take care, Bob. Thank you.
All right, Tina Morocco. She's our realtor. Global Sales Advisor, Premier Sotheby's International, Naples, Florida. Your gateway to the state of Florida writ large, but she specializes in Southwest Florida. You can reach her at tinamorocco.com, MURACCO. We'll be back. Aerosmith, the number one hit this date, 2001, Murph says, with Jaded. Not a bad song. Bob Cordaro back. Somebody says, hey, Bob, I'm curious. Can you ask her what's the average cost of a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home in a not terrible school district? Well, you got to get in touch with her. TinaMorocco.com. MURACCO. That's a more complicated question than you ask. Somebody texts in, we honor veterans daily and hourly on the Bob Cordaro Show. Greenridge Neighborhood Association, tear down that stolen valor, Joe Biden. It's a disgrace, not only to American veterans, but to the entire world of veterans in other countries that served honorably. Shame on the Greenridge Neighborhood Association. Yes, you are right. Yes, you are right. You would just hope they'd have enough respect for the people who served this country to take it down. Put up, I don't care, put up a sign as big as a house for Joe Biden if you're that stupid. If you actually think he's worth honoring. If you're that dumb, do it. But not a hometown heroes. Period. Hey, Joe, we got about a minute, my man. Fire away.
Okay, so Bob, I'm going to send you a picture of a really neat place in Sunbury where I'm working. It's called the Squeeze Inn. It's like a Jimmy's hot dog type place.
Okay,
but
like the Jimmy's in Hazleton there? Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that, but it's so small that if you were to sit at the lunch counter where there's about 5 seats, if the person at the end wanted to get up and leave, everybody else would have to actually move out.
What's it called? What's it called?
The Squeeze In.
The Squeeze?
I'm gonna send you a picture of it.
Please.
It's such a neat place.
I like Sunbury. It's a great little downtown.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you what, there's signs all over the place here, historical signs about Thomas Edison. Apparently Thomas Edison has some kind of ties to this place, and I think they have an Edison hotel.
I remember their basketball team, the Sunbury Suns, used to play the Scranton Miners way back when in the ABA, not whatever league it was. Thank you, my man. 1150 says Picardo's. March 5th, 1982, Murph tells us actor, comedian, singer John Belushi died of an overdose that date at Chateau Marmont Hotel, Los Angeles. He was 33. And what a great talent on so many fronts. Murph is a similar performer, though. I got to say that. Oh, what a shame. In fact, I wonder if my man Mark Schuchter's listening. He used to play the Dan Aykroyd half of the Blues Brothers all over the place back in the day, as they say. Yeah, we lost John Belushi. 1982. Sad. Again, back to did I say this already? Somebody asked what the cost of an average, 3-bedroom, 2-bath home in Southwest Florida is. And I said, you got to get in touch with Tina Morocco directly. It's MURACCO, TinaMorocco.com. Or get in touch through Premier Sotheby's International in Naples, Florida. They've got her information. Well, we're going to finish today at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. This date, 2004, Murph says, the show featured a great performance by Prince, Tom Petty, Jeff Lynne, who did While My Guitar Gently Weeps. That's a good way to wrap it up, isn't it? In any event, another challenging day. And I say challenging because we're fighting ignorance, willful ignorance. We're fighting against childlike opinions that are developed for people by leaders who hate this country, by billionaires who hate this country and fund the fools who promote this. And I was thinking about this yesterday. I'm going, I have sat through the explanations from Trump, Hegseth, Joint Chiefs Kane, General Kane, Marco Rubio, all saying what the objectives are and why they did it now. And they'll still say, well, why are they doing it now? They don't even want to listen. It's craziness that we're subjected to. It truly is. And I don't know. Again, we just can't give credit to insanity anymore. We really can't. Things are too serious. And they've gone along too far with this kind of just abject ignorance and intentional ignorance. Can't do it. We really can't. We got to call it for what it is wherever it is found. Because we've got to save the country. We've got to save the world. The Greenridge Neighborhood Association, somebody texts in, wonders why the Bob Cordaro Show and his loyal listeners are willing to die on this Biden stolen valor banner hill. Why? Because so many veterans died for our freedoms, and the Greenridge Neighborhood Association, a bunch of ignorant human beings, ignoring that fact. Amen. It's a disgrace. It's an embarrassment. It's a shame. And if they don't know any better, there's something wrong with you. Oh, no, it's okay because what? No. Sorry. Well, great to be with you guys. I don't feel very well. But, being with you guys gives me the energy for 3 hours no matter what. So I can't complain about that, can I? Let's not forget our veterans. Brought to you by John Basiliga, Basiliga Hospitality. We lost them this year. Paul Matuszek, late of Skaneateles, New York, but he was from Forest City. Albert Petrucci, late of California, but he was Bunker Hill, Scranton strong. And Edward Kwok of Shavertown. Guys, have a great afternoon. Sue Henry show next. Rob O'Donnell show after that. Have a great one. But for now, I got to go. God willing, I'll be with you tomorrow. But as of this moment, as of 12 o'clock on my Picardo Jewelers watch, I've got to gavel to a close this meeting of the Club for Common Sense. Have a great afternoon.